What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 Season of the Witch video, and in this one we're going to take a look at the new weapons for the season, and so we'll be focusing on the new and returning weapons for Season 22, we'll take a look at all of the perks, the popular roles, and potential god roles for the new weapons, and so we'll look at all of the season stuff, the reprised weapons, of course Nightfall drops, playlist weapons, and new world legendary drops that have been introduced, to give you guys an idea of what they can all roll, perks to look out for, and of course potentially craft. So as always, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, get subscribed for more Destiny content, and otherwise let's get into it. And so initially we'll start out with the new season weapons, which of course can drop from the new seasonal activities and the vendor in the helm. And first up there is the Eremite legendary solar fusion rifle. This comes in a high impact frame. And looking at the main traits right here in order of popularity so far, initially for trait slot 1 it can roll heal clip, where reloading shortly after dealing a final blow grants cure to you and nearby allies. Of course, being a pretty good new bonus, that is a popular perk, but it can also roll Envious Assassin, and as well we can see Lead from Gold, Compulsive Reloader, Pulse Monitor, Offhand Strike, and Slick Draw. But then the second trade slot is able to get Reservoir Burst, as well as Controlled Burst, and then it can also roll Golden Tricorn, High Ground, Cornered, Elemental Capacitor, and Pugilist. So there are a few potentially good roles right there, but as we can see, the stuff that players are going after includes things like Heal Clip or Envious Assassin, paired with Reservoir Burst and Controlled Burst. And of course those are the slightly more unique combinations on the weapon, so certainly worth looking out for or going after if you plan to craft it. Next up though, another seasonal weapon is the Eleatic Principle, and this is an arc machine gun in a rapid fire frame. And then the traits right here, it can roll with Zen Moment, as well as Eddy Current, and then we can get Heating Up, Well-Rounded, Moving Target, Ensemble, and Offhand Strike. But in the second slot, it can roll Target Lock, as well as Golden Tricorn, Rangefinder, Adrenaline Junkie, Adaptive Munitions, Tap the Trigger, or Harmony. And obviously being a rapid fire frame, we can see why Zen Moment would be popular in that first trait slot. Eddy Current is a decent bonus for that reload speed boost, but Heating Up is another really solid option. Obviously increasing accuracy and stability on a rapid fire frame is always positive, but without a doubt the most popular second slot bonus is Target Lock. And obviously Zen Moment, Heating Up, or Well-Rounded paired with Target Lock just make it easier to keep the weapon on a single target and get that damage bonus. So those are some pretty good combinations to look out for on this thing. Next though, we've got Briar's Love, which is a precision frame Void Scout Rifle. And this can come with some really solid bonuses. In the first trade slot, we have Rapid Hit, as well as Keep Away, and then a new bonus for the season, which is Loose Change, and applying an elemental debuff to a target increases this weapon's reload speed for a short duration. But it can also roll Perpetual Motion, No Distractions, Shoot to Loot, and Perfect Float in the first trade slot. The second trade slot though can get Explosive Payload, as well as Destabilizing Rounds, and Precision Instrument, where dealing sustained damage increases precision damage. Then it can get Frenzy, Golden Tricorn, Adagio, and Pugilist. And so obviously Rapid Hit paired with Explosive Payload or Destabilizing Rounds in particular will be a pretty good meta combination, I suppose, but obviously Keep Away is a really solid perk with it being a scout rifle, while using it at longer ranges. And Loose Change isn't a bonus I've used, but sounds like it could be potentially fairly solid. I'd personally really love to get a combo of Rapid Hit and Destabilizing Rounds on this thing, but let us know any decent rolls you have for it down below. But next there is the Semiotician, and this is a Strand high impact frame rocket launcher, where in the first trade slot it's able to get Impulse Amplifier, Field Prep, Perpetual Motion, Shot Swap, Keep Away, Wellspring, and Stats for All. Then in the second slot, it can roll Explosive Light, as well as Bipod, Hatchling, Frenzy, and then Danger Zone, Harmony, or Pugilist. So some fairly common rocket launcher bonuses right there. Impulse Amplifier is a good one, increasing projectile velocity and reloads. Field Prep will give us those increased ammo reserves, and Perpetual Motion's not too bad for a rocket launcher, mainly for that reload speed boost. And then Explosive Light is really popular on these kind of weapons, increasing the damage. Plus Bipod got a bit of a buff this season, so maybe something to try out on this thing. But that takes us to the new seasonal hand cannon, the Kept Confidence, which is a Strand adaptive frame hand cannon. And the first trait slot's able to get Killing Wind, Quick Draw, as well as Loose Change, but can additionally roll Stats for All, Invisible Hand, Shot Swap, and Aerosol. Then the second trade slot can get Multi-Kill Clip, Eye of the Storm, and Collective Action, where collecting elemental pickups or throwing a strand tangle grants a stacking period of increased damage. But it can also roll Thresh, Pugilist, Harmony, and Gutshot Straight. It's a really solid hand cannon stats-wise, and as we can see, Killing Wind, Quick Draw, and Loose Change are the top 3 bonuses in the first slot, with multi-kill clip, Eye of the Storm, and collective action being the top 3 bonuses in the second slot. So some roles that are fairly decent for PvP there, but also from the season we get the Locus Locotus, which is a strand adaptive frame sniper. And the first trade slot can get Overflow, as well as Keep Away, Discord, Surplus, and then Steady Hands, Wellspring, or Ensemble, with the second trade slot able to roll Opening Shot, High Ground, and we gain bonus damage when attacking targets from higher ground, as well as Headstone, Kill Clip, Firing Line, Box Breathing, and Under Over. So actually a bunch of really good sniper bonuses there. Obviously Overflow is really solid for automatically reloading the weapon, and Keep Away is a decent perk, especially with it being a sniper. We tend to be using it at longer range. And then Discord's a really solid bonus when you're simply switching to that sniper, especially paired with things like Opening Shot. That could be quite a good PvP role. But then you do have things like High Ground, Headstone, Kill Clip, Firing Line, and Box Breathing, which are all decent PvE bonuses. So those are the new season weapons, and give us your thoughts on them down below. But for other weapons this season, there is the Unending Tempest, and this is a precision frame stasis SMG, which drops as a Crucible playlist weapon or from rank up packages at Lord Shaxx. And so the perk pools on these are more significant, but it can get Perpetual Motion, Moving Target, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Demolitionist, Subsistence, Enlightened Action, where dealing damage improves reload speed and handling, and then Killing Wind, Gutshot Straight, Discord, Offhand Strike, Under Over, and Shot Swap. And those can be paired with bonuses like Target Lock, Rangefinder, Fragile Focus, Frenzy, Adrenaline Junkie, Multi-Kill Clip, Tap the Trigger, Headstone, Cascade Point, Harmony, Collective Action, or Surrounded. And obviously Perpetual Motion's a really good one. We tend to be moving around quite a bit when using SMGs. Moving Target's okay as well. And then Target Lock in the second slot will speed up that time to kill. Rangefinder, of course, is a solid perk. And Fragile Focus can be decent, but obviously things like Frenzy, Multi-Kill Clip, or Headstone can be decent PvE bonuses too. Plus this one gets Nadir Focus, the origin trait where sustained fire increases accuracy and range, as well as increasing lunge distance for swords and projectile velocity for launchers. And it can get One Quiet Moment. But there's also the Kwazapan 5, which is a void high impact frame machine gun. And the first trait slot can get Dynamic Sway Reduction, as well as Triple Tap, Clown Cartridge, Surplus, Heating Up, Encore, Field Prep, Under Pressure, Slideways, and Shot Swap. Then the second slot can get Destabilizing Rounds, Target Lock, Frenzy, Rampage, Dragonfly, High Ground, Firing Line, Cascade Point, Thresh, or Adrenaline Junkie. And so Dynamic Sway Reduction's a decent bonus, but Triple Tap or Clown Cartridge may even be better when paired with things like Destabilizing Rounds. Plus there is Target Lock there as well, another very popular bonus for this sort of weapon. You've got damage bonuses like Frenzy or Rampage, even Dragonfly, which can be decent. But obviously having a Destabilizing Rounds machine gun is one of the main draws for this weapon. Either way, this machine gun will drop from Gambit matches or rank up packages at the Drifter. And then the third new ritual weapon is the Lunar Regolith 3, and this is a solar aggressive frame sniper, which can drop from strikes and Vanguard packages from Zavala. The first trade slot can get Heal Clip, Snapshot Sights, Triple Tap, Clown Cartridge, Keep Away, Surplus, No Distractions, Quick Draw, Under Pressure, and Field Prep, with the second trade slot able to roll Incandescent, Precision Instrument, Explosive Payload, High Ground, Opening Shot, Firing Line, Box Breathing, Cascade Point, Moving Target, and Eye of the Storm. And so Heal Clip paired with Incandescent is a pretty interesting combination right there, as the Incandescent kills will proc that healing as well. But obviously Snapshot, Triple Tap, and Clown Cartridge can be decent sniper bonuses, and Precision Instrument is going to boost that damage. May also be worth trying out things like High Ground as well, but the sniper has a bunch of other popular perks, so let us know what you'd go after down below. That does take us on to new Nightfall weapons though, and we get the Warden's Law, which is a heavy burst, and fires a hard-hitting 2-round burst, and this is a kinetic hand cannon. So of course the archetype has been updated, and we can see in the first trait slot, it can get Perpetual Motion, Moving Target, 4th times the Charm, and then Snapshot, or Enlightened Action, and dealing damage improves reload speed and handling, as well as Discord. Then the second trait slot can get Vorpal Weapon, Zen Moment, Rampage, Kill Clip, plus it can roll Frenzy or Shot Swap. Again, hand cannons are generally fairly mobile weapons, so Perpetual Motion may be decent, as may moving target. And 4th time's the charm's interesting as well, with it being a 2-round burst. If you're hitting your shots, that'll be proccing all the time. Snapshot kind of speaks for itself, and Enlightened Action's going to be pretty much active continuously. As long as you're making kills, you'll get the benefits of that reload speed. And then being a high damage hand cannon, things like Frenzy, Kill Clip, or Vorpal Weapon, as well as Rampage, are all going to increase that damage output. Zen Moment could potentially be interesting with it firing bursts. I'd possibly look out for things like 4th time's the charm, or Enlightened Action, paired with Rampage for PvE, but there are a bunch of different benefits to this weapon with different roles, so let us know what you think down below. There is another additional Nightfall weapon for the season though, which is the Pre-Asternax, and this is a solar precision frame bow. We can see in the first trait slot it can get Perpetual Motion, Archer's Tempo, Perfect Float, and then Shoot to Loot, Enlightened Action or Rangefinder, and that can be paired with Incandescent, Collective Action, Successful Warm-Up, Opening Shot, Explosive Head, or Precision Instrument. Personally, I'll be interested in looking out for roles like Archer's Tempo or Rangefinder paired with Incandescent, which would be pretty good in PvE. But give us your thoughts about that down below, and we do have more ritual weapons here. So there's the Cataphract GL3, which is a new strand adaptive frame grenade launcher, and this comes from Trials of Osiris this season. The first trait slot is able to get Slick Draw, Impulse Amplifier, Envious Assassin, Field Prep, Enlightened Action, Autoloading Holster, or Demolitionist, and that can be paired with Explosive Light, Cascade Point, Chain Reaction, Hatchling, Full Court, Vorpal Weapon, or Bait and Switch. And so in the first trait slot, things like Autoloading Holster are going to be pretty good. Also, Envious Assassin's a really nice bonus for grenade launchers, and you could pair that with Explosive Light, or Chain Reaction in particular, will be pretty fun. But if you fancy putting in a bit more effort, things like Bait and Switch are really good for damage as well, and you have the basics like Vorpal Weapon and Full Court. Plus, if you fancy a Hatchling grenade launcher, that'll be an option there as well. So a few decent rolls, and let us know what you'd go after down below. But additionally, we see the return of the Igneous Hammer, of course a solar aggressive frame hand cannon, and in the first trait slot, it can roll Encore, Heel Clip, Slick Draw, Rapid Hit, Keep Away, Rangefinder, or Fragile Focus, and that can be paired up with Precision Instrument, Opening Shot, Moving Target, Incandescent, Golden Tricorn, Frenzy, or Eye of the Storm. So it really depends what you want to do with the weapon. There are other things like Rangefinder there. Some folks may want to pair that with stuff like Opening Shot, but also Heel Clip could be a really solid bonus. And naturally Rapid Hit's going to be pretty good as well. And for PvE, players may want to use things like Incandescent, maybe even Frenzy, or Precision Instrument, but we've got Opening Shot, Moving Target, and Eye of the Storm as well, which are going to be nice PvP bonuses, so let us know what you think of the updates for that weapon. And finally here we get to some of the world drops for the season. So there is the Geodetic HSM, which is a Void Adaptive Frame Sword. And looking at the popular perks, it can roll Repulsor Brace, Tireless Blade, Relentless Strikes, Duelist Trance, and then it can also get Flash Counter and Energy Transfer. Interestingly as well, it's one of the first swords that can get Destabilizing Rounds, but it can also roll Whirlwind Blade, Assassin's Blade, Collective Action, One for All, and On Guard. And naturally, one of the most interesting combos here is Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds. If you fancy just chewing through enemies, this is going to be a really good combo. But it's got those other popular perks like Tireless Blade and Relentless Strikes, which will also pair really nicely with Destabilizing Rounds. Or of course Whirlwind Blade and Assassin's Blade if you're after things like the damage increase. Another world drop for the season is the Heliocentric QSC, and this is a lightweight frame solar sidearm. First trait slot can get Heel Clip, Demolitionist, Enlightened Action, Perpetual Motion, Rangefinder, and Moving Target. So a few popular bonuses there, some of which could be pretty viable, but the second slot can get Incandescent, Kill Clip, Precision Instrument, Frenzy, Adrenaline Junkie, and Surrounded. So in terms of what makes the weapon somewhat unique, Heel Clip and Incandescent is going to be a really fun combination. And obviously any kills that you get from Scorch as you're reloading are going to proc Heel Clip. But also Heel Clip and Kill Clip is a pretty interesting combo as well. So let us know what you think of that one. But here there is the PSI Hermetic 5, which is a status high impact frame pulse rifle. And for popular perks, it can roll Outlaw, as well as Enlightened Action, Encore, Moving Target, Heating Up, and Elemental Capacitor. Then the second slot can get Kill Clip, Headseeker, Headstone, Frenzy, Perpetual Motion, and Golden Tricorn. So again, some really solid perk combos there. Obviously, Outlaw and Kill Clip is a pretty classic combo for a pulse rifle, as is Outlaw and Headseeker, Of course, Enlightened Action is another pretty good bonus there. Probably doesn't reload quite as fast as Outlaw, but it does get that handling benefit. And Encore and Moving Target are fairly good as well. Then it really depends what you want to do with the weapon, whether you want Kill Clip or Frenzy for damage bonuses, Headseeker, which is going to be really nice in PvP, or even Headstone for PvE. I think there are some solid options on the weapon. The final new world drop to talk about here though is the Nox Perennial 5. This is a Strand High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle, where in the first trade slot we can get Envious Assassin, Threat Detector, Lead from Gold, Under Pressure, Loose Change, or Fragile Focus, and those can be paired with Controlled Burst, Hatchling, Collective Action, Kickstart, Wellspring, or Elemental Capacitor. And for me, Envious Assassin is definitely the top bonus in that first trait slot. Just being able to have so many rounds in the magazine is really good. And Controlled Burst is a really solid damage increase. But I think for a fusion as well, Hatchling could be pretty fun. The Collective Action has a bunch of potential as well. Let's take a quick look at the new Iron Banner weapons for the season though, or should I say returning Iron Banner weapons. And we've got the Guiding Sight, which is now a Strand High Impact Frame Scout Rifle. And the first trait slot can get Enlightened Action, Demolitionist, Moving Target, Tunnel Vision, Perpetual Motion or Gut Shot Straight, and that can be paired with Hatchling, Adrenaline Junkie, Kill Clip, Encore, Cascade Point, or Precision Instrument. So I think Enlightened Action paired with some of the damage bonuses like Kill Clip, or indeed Precision Instrument could be pretty good. You've got stuff like Moving Target or Perpetual Motion if you like that. Also could be interesting is Demolitionist and Hatchling, which could be a fairly nice PvE role. Then there is the Point of the Stag, which is an arc precision frame bow. Once again, it will drop from Iron Banner, and in the trade slots we can get No Distractions, Shot Swap, Archer's Tempo, Elemental Capacitor, Pugilist, or Slick Draw in the first slot, with Dragonfly, Vorpal Weapon, Eye of the Storm, Swashbuckler, Precision Instrument, and Golden Tricorn in the second slot. So again, the classic Archer's Tempo is going to be fairly popular here, and that can be paired with Precision Instrument, Vorpal Weapon, or Dragonfly pretty easily for a solid weapon. It's nice to have another Dragonfly bow there, but let us know which roles you'd go after, and these have the Wildcard Origin trait as well, which is the Cassoid trait, and final blows with the weapon have a chance to create experimental submunitions at the target's location. But then we have some vanilla D2 red war weapons which can be focused for at the vendor in the helm, and that includes Nightshade, which is now a Strand lightweight frame pulse rifle. And the popular bonuses in the first trade slot include Outlaw, Enlightened Action, or Rangefinder, but it can also get Keep Away, Heating Up, and Under Pressure. Then the second trade slot can roll Hatchling, Kill Clip, Headseeker, Moving Target, Encore, and Collective Action. So for reloads, naturally Outlaw is really good. Enlightened Action is sort of second best to that. And then for range and stat boosts, Rangefinder and Keep Away can be pretty decent. But depending on what you want to use the weapon for, Hatchling in PvE is going to be a lot of fun, as will Kill Clip, which is also solid for PvP, and then there is Headseeker as well. So some fairly solid roles for all types of content depending on what you want. Then we have the Showrunner, which is a lightweight frame kinetic SMG, and it can get Overflow, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Rangefinder, Well-Rounded, Grave Robber, and Heating Up in the first trade slot, with Kinetic Tremors, Target Lock, Collective Action, Swashbuckler, Fragile Focus, and Air Assault in the second trait slot. So as we can see there, the combination of Overflow and Kinetic Tremors is going to be really good. But also Overflow and Target Lock could be pretty good too, as boosting that magazine and then getting the bonuses from remaining on the target can make for a pretty interesting combination. Nice to have a Kinetic Tremors SMG there though. And finally there is the Persuader, a rapid fire frame void sniper rifle, where in the first trade slot we can get Rapid Hit, Keep Away, Discord, Repulsor Brace, and then Surplus and Perfect Float. And the second trade slot can get Precision Instrument, as well as Destabilizing Rounds, High Ground, Triple Tap, Opening Shot, and Moving Target. So some good bonuses here, and Rapid Hit paired with Precision Instrument naturally is going to be very solid. But I'd also say Keep Away, Discord, and Repulsor Brace potentially are interesting bonuses depending on what you want to do. It's interesting to get Destabilizing Rounds on a sniper, but also High Ground, which is going to increase that damage. And if you want them, Triple Tap and Opening Shot are there as well, so it kind of opens up a bunch of different possibilities with the weapon. And overall, I'd say the weapons this season seem fairly solid. There have been some interesting new perk introductions as we've seen, but on top of that, Bungie are focusing on a lot of kind of classic, very solid, well-rolled weapons here. I would love to have seen more kind of elemental bonuses like Destabilizing Rounds, Volt Shot, and Incandescent introduced, although I've been saying that for a couple of seasons already. But otherwise, in terms of what we have got, there are some really solid high-performing weapons. So let us know what you're going to be looking out for this season, or any really good roles that you've already got. But for today, that's a pretty big look at a bunch of the weapons for the season. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, a rating below really does help us out. Also be sure to get subscribed to the channel so I can keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in today, and I will catch you guys very soon.